Alright, what's up ladies and gentlemen? So, my channel is Universal Mastery, and what I do is I break down the occult sciences to a very practical level so that you can use them, apply them, and understand them in your day-to-day life. Okay, now what I am is a professional occultist. I am fully initiated in Kabbalah, and I'm studied on astrology and the tarot. Okay? So, without further ado, what I'm going to go into in today's video is something that a lot of people want to know about. Okay? I literally get this question all the time. And I'm sure for any other professional occultist, they also get the same question. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to cover this this question today. Now the question is, if I start working with spirits, will they end up turning on me? Okay? It's kind of funny, but you know, the reality is yes, I do get asked this question all the time. So once again, if you want to know if that happens or if that can happen, then definitely stay tuned for the rest of the video. Alrighty, so here's the thing. So I'm just going to jump right into it. So the first thing that you want to ask yourself is, what is the nature of a spirit in the first place? Okay? And the reason why you want to ask yourself that question is because this is going to really paint the picture. This is really going to show you the reality behind, you know, working with something that would be considered a spirit, which is an actual energetic intelligence that can exist outside of your own spirit, your own energetic intelligence, okay? And at the end of the day, it's all, you know, everything's all connected, it's all within the same consciousness, you know, it's all part of source, but you can interact with it as if it's outside of yourself, and it can help you gain more consciousness or more awareness. So once again, the first thing you want to ask yourself is, what is the nature of a spirit? Because there's a lot of people that think it's like, they ask me this question, it's like if I start working with this spirit, quote unquote, a demon, usually it's a demon, they freak out and they think it's going to end up turning on them. They think, you know, if they start trying to do meditations with a spirit, it's going to just randomly out of nowhere just start destroying their life and start ruining everything they have, and I don't know, like essentially just like bullying them. I don't know what people think these days, but the reality is that the first thing that we want to look at is, once again, the nature of a spirit. And the nature of a spirit is evolution. Okay, so one of the first things we want to do is we want to separate the good and the bad. Okay, because a lot of people tend to think it's like, you think of an angel, you think of something good, and you think of a demon, you think of something evil or bad. But the reality is it's just two different types of spirits. It's like a cat and a dog. You know, you don't look at cats and you're like, those are bad, and you don't look at dogs and you're like, those are good. It's two different species, okay? They're two completely different types of animals. They have some similarities, but they're different animals at the end of the day. So that's the first distinction that we need to make, because remember, the word demon broke down in Greek used to be daemon, which literally translated to good spirit, okay? So a lot of people don't know this. This is why getting to the roots of things really matters, okay? So with that being said, now that we can look at it from the viewpoint of evolution, then we can make the idea, or we can make the, we can have the understanding that these are spirits that literally are built in, quote unquote, the astral plane to help another human being evolve, okay? So when you approach a spirit from that point of view of evolution, then you're gonna get good results, okay? Now, if you were working with somebody, let's say in a business, like in a business kind of way, and you ended up making a deal with this, you know, your business partner, and then you ended up changing your deal, right? You ended up changing what you were going to be going towards, right? Like you made a deal, you're like, we're gonna do this, we're gonna work on this together, we're gonna collaborate in this way, and then you just changed. You're just like, no, never mind, I'm not gonna do that. I'm actually gonna do the complete opposite of what I said I'm gonna do. Forget our deal. You know, I know we shook on it, I know we had something set in stone, but I just feel like not doing it anymore, so ha ha ha. Okay, guess what? Your business partner is gonna turn on you. They're gonna be like, okay, well, fuck you then. You know, like, I thought we had a deal here. I thought we were working together. I thought we were collaborating. I thought we were trying to come together to create something. Okay? And guess what? When you're making business deals, what are you doing? You're trying to evolve your life, right? You're trying to improve your business. You're trying to evolve your business. That's why you're making the business deal in the first place, okay? So it's the same thing if we take that same concept and we bring it down to spirit work. It's like if you're working with a spirit and you're approaching the spirit from an evolutionary state of mind, and then out of nowhere you just stop. Like, this happens a lot. If out of nowhere you just stop focusing on evolution, and out of nowhere you're just like, oh, you know what? I don't know if I want to do this anymore. I don't think it's for me, right? Well, it's not, when you make a deal with a business partner, you can't just back out of it, okay? You can't just say, oh, you know what? I actually don't feel like showing up today. I'm sorry. Just call it off. You can't do that, okay? That's going to literally affect your business. So when you do that with spirit work and you just back out, that affects your psyche. That affects your spiritual being, because we're here to evolve. Okay, that's the reason why we're alive. So when you're working with a spirit, whether it's a demon or an angel, they are going to bring evolutionary changes into your life. Okay? And if you start to, for example, work with a demon, which a lot of people do, and then there starts to be these changes that happen to your life, which a lot of the times the changes are tough. They're not easy changes. They literally shake things up and make things very unstable and uncomfortable, so that you can learn how to, I guess the best way to say it is, be more balanced in those chaotic types of situations. Okay, so they'll shake things up, and then it trains you to learn how to be more balanced and to how to, like, basically maneuver through certain types of conflicts and situations and things like that. It's the best way I can really explain it. So a lot of times people will work with demons, and I'm using demons because it's usually the people that are working with demons, and I'm telling you, demons are powerful spirits to work with. They're very primordial, and they can literally completely transform yourself, and they're very beneficial if you know what you're doing while you're working with them. But for example, you have people that want the great things in life. They want the nice things in life, which is not bad at all. We should all want the nice things in life, but their only focus is on the nice things. They only want the person that they want to love them. They want to be able to learn how to control and manipulate people. They want to have the nice, fast cars. They want to have money to the point where they can sleep on top of it and build a house out of, money. They want so much money. And they're forgetting that in order to develop these things that they want, they actually have to work on the inside first to then produce that on the outside. It's the same principle: as above, so below, as within, as without. Okay, people just want the material stuff without changing the inside, which makes no sense. It's funny to me. But so this is what happens. They'll get into demon work, for example, for the wrong reasons, because they're not ready to really change inside. They just want all the fancy things, because the reality is yes, you can get all of these things. Like, look at my environment. Okay, look at where I'm living. Okay, I haven't had to work in like a year for a corporation. I've got money in my bank account. I'm moving into a brand new place on this beautiful beach. Like, it really works out. Okay, let's just leave it there. It really works out. But it takes time, and it takes a lot of hard work. Okay, it takes time. It takes a lot of hard work. None of this shit was handed to me. I went through a lot of struggle and suffering to get to this point in my life. And that is what these spirits can trigger in your life to help you evolve. Okay? That's one thing a lot of people don't understand. They think it's all going to be easy sailing, all flowing, everything's going to be harmonious and great. Well, it's not. That's not how evolution works. Remember, a diamond is built under pressure. Okay? I went through a lot of pressure to receive this, and my life is only improving. Okay? And I continue to go through different types of challenges for my level. Okay? So when you work with a spirit, and that spirit's job is to help you evolve, but you're approaching it from the wrong perspective, you may realize, like, why does my life seem like it's falling apart? Why do things seem like they're being taken away from me? And then when that happens to a person, they freak out and they're like, oh my God, the spirit turned on me. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. What's going on? What's going on? Well, guess what? You were not ready to get into it in the first place. You're not ready to start. That's a normal process. Okay? You shouldn't freak out. It's a normal process. Demons are specifically geared towards taking the male principle away from a person, which means it takes away their ability to manifest things. The male principle is the ability to manifest things. But when it takes away the male principle, it leaves you much more open for the female principle, the feminine current, which makes you more receptive. So while your ability to manifest is ripped away from you, now you're being trained by the feminine current, which is constantly making you a more receptive person, so you can gain knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And as you gain your power within, then you gain the ability to manifest again, once it has been taken away from you. So it's an interesting thing that happens. You know, a lot of times when you start working with demons, at first they can show you what they're capable of. Like, they will manifest things in your life to like let you know how real it is. And then when you start getting serious with it, when you start taking it to the next level, they will take your ability to manifest things that you want away from you. So it causes you to really focus on, who am I? And what is important to me? And what is life about? What is the occult about? How do I gain wisdom? How do I gain understanding? How do I gain power? How do I do it? It makes you ask all these questions, because remember, the male principle taken away. Now it's the female principle. Now you're existing in universe B. And the more you exist in universe B, the more you essentially train yourself in that current of energy, the more power you're subtly and exponentially gonna gain consistently, and it builds a momentum. And then, as I said, you eventually get to a point where you no longer have to necessarily work with demons. They end up serving you, okay? And then you end up working with other spirits that are way, you could say, way more powerful, or way higher up in the hierarchies. And you become your own literal God in your own rights. You become your own most powerful being. And spirit, like when I say like demons and angels will eventually serve you, that is a part of the process that you get to, where you don't have to like do all these spells, you don't have to do all this stuff. It just naturally happens. But it does take a lot of work to get there, and it takes a lot of occult practice to get there. Okay, it takes a lot of invocation, it takes a lot of working with these different spirits, because you have to first learn about these spirits. And when you work with a spirit, it gives its energetic current to you. So that influences you, and that shows you what it's like to be that spirit from an evolutionary standpoint. And then your energy body ends up developing that same, you could think of like aura as that spirit. And that's what is known as gaining the power of a spirit through doing like an invocation or working with a spirit, whatever kind of spirit it is. And I've worked with a lot of spirits, okay? And that's what I recommend. I mean, I've worked with a lot of spirits, and I've taken my time with them, and every time it's been a challenge, okay? There's not once been not a challenge. So it really shows, you know, that there's a process to it. So when people freak out and they're like, oh my God, are they gonna turn on me? I just want you to go back to that analogy. It's like if you make a business deal with somebody and you back out, yes, that business person is no longer gonna do business with you. They're not gonna like you anymore. They're not gonna see you as a trustworthy person. That's the same thing that will happen in the spirit realm. You know, if you're getting into it, that's why it's important to understand what this whole occult field is really about. It's all about evolution. At the end of the day, it's all about evolution. All that other shit that you think you may have heard or you think you know about it, it's about evolution. I'm telling you this right now. And the most professional people in my field will tell you the same thing. It truly is about evolution. So if you have that understanding before getting into these practices, that is going to be so beneficial for you. That's why I have videos that say connect with source before you get into spirit work or before you get into astral work, because source is evolution. Okay, source is what is connecting everything. So as long as you have that idea, as long as you have that knowing and that understanding before you get into these practices, you're going to be fine. Okay, there's no such thing as you working on your own self-development, you evolving, and then having a spirit turn on you. Okay, remember, the nature of a lot of these spirits, especially if we're talking about the demonic, they're very good at taking things away. So when you begin to work with them, they will start with you. They will take things away from you. There's that story of Ishtar, and I'm forgetting the name, but there's a story that has Ishtar in it where the girl is going through these gateways, and at every single gate she comes to, she has to shed a piece of her clothing. And as she goes through all 7 gates, by the time she's at that 7th gate, it's her last piece of clothing. She's completely naked. And now that she's naked, now she's able to cross to the higher levels of awareness. But she was not able to cross if she hadn't shed her clothing. That is metaphorical for what I'm explaining right now. When you do spirit work, you will see your life, you will see things being taken away from you at first. And just know that that's normal. That's supposed to happen. It's supposed to test you. And obviously, the people that are freaking out, the people that end up giving up and are like, oh, I do not want to do that again, I'll never do this again, that's a no-go for me. They're not meant to go any farther. Okay, it's like a big test, right? Like at the end of the day, these are what is known as initiations. Like these are tests. Like only the strong can make it through. Like there's going to be so many people that try to like go through it, and then they're going to see how these energies affect their life and how things start to change, and they're not going to proceed farther. They're not going to try and move forward. They're going to freak out and they're going to think, oh, this spirit is a bad spirit. It's taking things away from me. It's turning on me, and oh, this is doing bad things. Like it's supposed to give me this, but it's giving me like all these bad things. And a lot of people are going to give up. They're going to quit. And unfortunately, it actually can really affect someone's life to get into it and then back out, right? Like it can really affect your life, because when you get into it, you're opening up a gateway, you're opening up a door, an energetic door you could think of. And that door has a very powerful momentum to it. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but a lot of people have a pull towards the occult. There's like a gravitational inner pull towards the occult. And most people in our society have this pull. Like when I say most, I literally mean 99%. They have this pull, but some people are better at resisting it than others. Majority of people resist that pull, okay? For me, I'm the type of person that I could not resist that pull. It's so strong in my energetic being that in my life, I couldn't resist it. I literally had to walk this path. Like it was I would have lost my mind if I didn't walk this path, because it's a part of my purpose. It's a part of my evolution. And if I'm here and I'm quote unquote a powerful spirit living in this body and I'm not evolving, then of course I'm gonna go insane. Of course bad things are gonna happen. I'm supposed to evolve, and this is when it comes to the occult, that is literally the hidden science behind evolution. It is the most powerful form of evolution, 100%. And everyone, like all ancient cultures know this, and this is like, I don't care what you think, it's true, okay? It doesn't matter what you think about it, it's true, okay? What's true is true. So, I think that pretty much covers it, you know? Just be ready, you know? When you start to get into this, it's not gonna be all flowers, it's not gonna be all fluff. You are gonna have things happen that are amazing. You're gonna see things that you never knew were possible. It's gonna blow your fucking mind. You are gonna develop in ways that are literally beyond human explanation, okay? That's what you can expect. But when you start thinking about like, okay, when am I gonna get the nice house? When am I gonna get the nice car? When is this person gonna fall in love with me? When is this and this and this? That's why I don't really talk about doing spells too often, is because everyone wants to do a spell to get this person to do this and do this and do this. It's like we already have these elite people in our government doing that shit already to control the masses. Like I don't need to teach people how to do that. I'm trying to teach people how to evolve, okay? I wanna teach you how to suck those people dry and how to gain their power, okay? Because, you know, I'm in the field of destruction, okay? I'm in the field of psychic warfare. This is what, this is essentially what a major aspect of the occult is about. And a lot of people don't step up to that plate, but I am definitely someone that does, and I teach people how to do that as well. And for everyone that I teach, for everyone that listens to me, and I learn from a lot of these people at the same time. It's a beautiful thing. For all of us, we're all doing great right now. We're all literally, like if you look at our lives, we're moving forward constantly. Good things are coming into our lives constantly. Okay, we get 100% success with our rituals constantly. Okay, but it was a long process for all of us to go through the hell realms, and then come back out. Okay, this is normal. Okay, so don't freak out when you start doing this spirit work, especially when you get into the demonic work. That when things start to like really change, things start to really shake up. And if you're like, listen to me and you're like, okay, well, I hear what you're saying, I really don't want to do that, so I'm just gonna work with angels, you're only fucking yourself over. Because angels, they're their natural property is to take away from the soul. So they use soul fluid, okay? Soul fluid. It's something you can see on it's something that every person has. It's like you could almost think of it like an energetic tank towards your purpose. That's what soul fluid is. It's like you have a purpose, I have a purpose, but I may have more energy towards my purpose because I have more soul fluid, okay? And if you have psychic vision, you can actually see soul fluid on people. But angels, they require, in order to manifest things for you, they require your soul fluid. Okay, so what that means is they take away energy from your purpose to give you physical reality, to give you physical things. So obviously, like, a fool will be like, I don't care, like, fuck my purpose, give me the physical things, right? A fool would think that. But you'll find out that when you do that, you will regret it, because you will have the thing that you wanted, but you will not like that you have it. You will feel empty on the inside still, and that will cause depression. And not only depression, that can cause a mental breakdown, because you will literally have the things in life that you thought, if you had, made you so happy or would complete you, and you will have that, and you will feel even more empty than you do maybe in this moment right now. You'll feel more empty because you now have the thing that you thought you wanted, and it's not, you just don't have the purpose anymore. You're a shell of a person that's sacrificing your own evolution for material gain. So that's why it's important to balance working with angels and demons, because demons, when they take away the male principle, it makes you more receptive, it taps you into universe B, it taps you into the feminine current, which builds up your soul. Okay, it literally builds up your soul fluid, because that's all you can do is focus on yourself and focus on your evolutionary purpose. So if you balance it out with angels, then you can balance that. It's like a +1 plus a -1, which will equal the 0. Okay, angels are +1, demons are -1. Together they equal the 0. 0 is the number 11, which is 100% manifestation, which is also correlated to the hidden sphere on the tree of life known as Dath, okay, which is the sphere of knowledge. So the reason why I recommend working with the demonic, just the demonic at first, is because you'll eventually get to a point where you no longer need to worry about balancing what you're doing, really, in regards to magical workings, like working with a demon on this occasion, working with an angel on this occasion, and making sure you're keeping it in balance. You'll eventually get to a point where you've developed your soul fluid so much, and the science behind it is your soul actually does a black hole. Okay, so your soul goes into a black hole, which I've actually explained before. And if you know the science behind a black hole, there's an energetic science to it, and the same thing will happen to your own soul, where it builds up with so much negative dark matter energy, which happens from working with the demonic, that it eventually collapses on itself, and then it produces an infinite amount of light from the black hole. So your soul literally can do that same energetic property, so then you no longer have to worry about when you work with angels or you're trying to manifest things in your material plane, you no longer have to worry about that energetic exchange from your soul fluid, because now you have an infinite generator constantly producing that energy towards your own evolution. Okay, and this is really advanced knowledge that I'm sharing with you, but you know what? Fuck it. You know, somebody's gonna get value from it. So other than that, I think I covered it 100%. So I'm gonna leave it there. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up, hit the notification bell. I post videos as often as I can. Hit the subscribe button, because I love to see my subscribers go all the way up. And definitely make sure you go and you check out my Patreon. When you go to the description, it's gonna be the very first link at the top. Literally says my Patreon right next to it. On my Patreon, I have exclusive content that is not on my YouTube channel. It's only for my Patreon members. For example, some of the videos that I have on there are geared towards actual spiritual occult practices that I perform on camera, and I teach you how to perform them yourself. Okay, one of those videos specifically is how to do an invocation. So for those of you that don't know what invocation means, it literally means to channel a spirit into your physical body so that you can start to obtain the knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and power of that spiritual force. Okay, so I teach you how to do that on the video. Then the other bit of the videos are gonna be geared towards content that's just like this. It's very similar. It's what I like to call educational entertainment, where the video's entertaining, but you're also getting a lot of value from it at the same time. Now, in order to gain access to this content, you have to at least be a tier 2 member or up. In order to be a tier 2, it costs $9.95 a month, and that is a reoccurring payment. But if you do the math, that literally comes out to less than $1 a day. So there is absolutely no reason why you shouldn't be able to afford that, especially with the value that I have on there. So as you go up in tiers, the benefits increase as well. So I'd love to give a special shout out to the top tier members of the Patreon. Their names are gonna be mentioned right below that Patreon link that I mentioned earlier. Huge shout out to you, ladies and gentlemen. And other than that, that's where I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna wrap it right here. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day or night wherever you are, and I will see you on the next video. Peace.